us be able to communicate better and hopefully look outside. And sometimes we're driving substitute mechanics are joining us today, and John Meeker, who's our facilities manager, they'll all be joining us today because we have a great topic of harassment that we have to go over today. It's our time that we're to do that at least once a year. So we're doing that later today in our meeting. So first up, we are going to have Patty.
I feel like I'm in a concert, like we're all ready to come on and talk to you guys. Well, good morning. I love March because it's the time where I see the snowbirds come back, and I know that spring is coming back. So it's nice to see those guys that have been on vacation for a while to come back and help us out. So we do have two new drivers, two part-time drivers. We have Tom LeMay, he's standing right here. Everybody welcome Tom.
Hi.
He's going to help 291 Jerome. So him and Jerome are kind of route 291. And then we have Kenji who has come back. He worked for us for a while. So everybody welcome Kenji. And he is going to be co-managing a route with Carl here. They're going to be doing 279. So welcome those guys back. We do have a couple anniversaries. We have two people that have been here a year with us already, and one is Lisa Putnam. And she had a meeting, but she brought a cake to honor her first anniversary. So we will all have cake for she wanted to bring in the cake. So say happy anniversary to her when you see her. And then we also, Randy also has 1 year anniversary. So thank you for your year of service with your tracks. And so then, before I give the mic over, we're going to talk a little bit about calling into dispatch. It is so important to call into dispatch when something on your bus is going on. If there's an accident, an incident, anything, you have a wheelchair tip, a client needs having a seizure and you need to call 911. There has been so many times lately that drivers, something goes on and I have to talk to you about it and you didn't call into dispatch. And it's been really disappointing. I don't know where the disconnect is. And if there is, I would love to hear that feedback. But I really need you guys to get back into calling dispatch. When something is happening, something on your bus, something out of the ordinary, because calling into dispatch, so we know about it. So when sites call, homes call, community people call, we are aware of what's going on. And we don't look stupid as admin people and go, what happened? What happened on that bus? So please, anything out of the ordinary happens on your bus, I know you're thinking about helping that person, please do. But as soon as you help that person, please call into dispatch. And if something happens on a weekend or at night, there is an on-call dispatcher. So please call that on-call dispatcher to let them know what's going on. And then during the week, we are also looking for an on-call dispatcher at night, but you can always call Scott, myself, Mike Greenbaum, Douglas, Rainey, Mike Flack, any of us. So please do, so we know about it. You guys do so many good things. I can't tell enough how many times you guys do such good things, and I love the team that we have, and I appreciate everything and every one of you. So thank you. I do appreciate you. And now we have...
All right, thank you, Patty. Do you have anything out of the ordinary, please call dispatch. We wanted to let you know it has been finished. And it basically the celebration of the 10-year anniversary of the original handbook. The new handbook is now complete. Yay! I guess I'm the only one who's excited. I am done looking at it. It will also just remember that a handbook is a living, breathing document. So as laws change or we need to update policies, there will be changes, but we'll let you know. But we're very excited to have a new handbook complete for you. So what that means for you all is that everyone will be going back through the new handbook and going to a handbook review. So please do look on your Win to Work schedule, as we do have some of those dates coming up, and Patty will be putting that into your Win to Work schedule. So that is all employees. All employees will be going through that. So just keep an eye on your schedule. There might be something a little different that says handbook review. And then for the most part, it will be the PAI conference room, which is downstairs. So just be aware that that will be coming. I'm very excited that it's finished. I'm excited to be able to share it with you so that all of our policies are actually in one place instead of here's this letter, and here's the handbook. It's all going to be together in one place. All right? We just wanted to let you know that. We're pretty excited about that. Also, just to highlight a couple of benefits that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. One is called Working Advantage. Working Advantage is a discount program that you have access to. Every month I put one on the cabinet, the blue cabinet. I put one flyer there and then one also in the break room. And what it does is give you codes. It's for, like, if you want to go on a trip to Florida, you can get discounts to some Disney tickets or Disney hotels. But if you just wanted to go to a local restaurant, you can find discounts for restaurants here. Or I know at least one person has gotten quite a discount on local concerts. So I have actually used it every year on Mother's Day to help get something for my mom and my mother-in-law. And it's gotten at least 30% off of a gift I would have already gotten. So definitely take advantage of that. It's called Working Advantage. It is a perk that you have here at NewTracks. If you have questions about it, please do come and see me. The other thing that we want to make sure everyone knows about, we've talked about it a couple times, we'd like to bring it back, is Tiger Fitness. How many of you are aware that you have a membership to Tiger Fitness? Okay, a handful of people. All right, so we just want to let you know we have a benefit for you. You have a membership to Tiger Fitness. It is a very bare bones place. The nice thing is you can even walk in the summertime. It's only a quarter mile from here. And you do have access to free weights, to things like treadmills and Stairmaster, those types of things. So cardio equipment, there are classes that they're willing to provide you. They are $10 extra. But they have classes, they have equipment that you can use. They do have personal training as additional costs as well, if that's something you're interested in. What I would like to know from you, not right at this moment, but we want to know how many people are interested so that we can continue to keep this benefit. Right now we don't have enough people using it to be able to continue. So over the next month we're going to be taking an evaluation of that. If you are interested in the membership, please do come talk to myself or any of the admin team to let us know that you do want to take advantage of that. And we'll help you get started. You do have to sign a waiver the first time you go in. And that's it pretty much for that. So that's during the midday and also when you finish in the evening. So there are 2 different times available for you to be able to take advantage of that. We wanted to make sure it's accessible to you. Any questions about either of those 2? Yes, sir.
Are there links on Wonderwork that shows like the benefits and handbook and access to it?
Oh, yeah, just access to what your actual current benefits are. Yes. So that is in the EASE portal. It's EASE. That's the EASE portal. If you're having trouble getting into it, come see me and I'll get you reconnected with it. But that's how you see everything. You can see, actually we can't get the handbook, but it has the manual, the benefits manual, and everything you signed up for. And if you want to know more about like the 403B, that's not something that's necessarily on EASE, but Angie or I can get connected with that. Does that help?
Yeah, well, do we access that through Wonderwork or is that a separate portal?
Great question. No, you cannot access it through Win to Work. You actually have to go to EASE to be able to get in. So, okay, yeah, just come see me. I'd be happy to get you in. That's a great question. And just so you know, we're trying to work on getting things connected more. Great question also. But that's a great question. So medical benefits is an EASE, and that's only for full-time employees, but you're talking about just in general benefits? Okay, that's a great question. That is something that we could try to put on Win to Work, or at least make a sheet available to you of all the different benefits that you have access to. That would be great. We can definitely provide that for you, and I'll create that soon, and then we'll get that to the dispatch and also up in the break room. That's a great question. So EASE is for medical benefits, and that's just for full-time employees. part-time employees, you do have benefits like part-time, paid time off, if you would work at least 20 hours, you have the 403B, and we can make a list of those things. Great question, thank you. Any other questions about those two benefits? Okay. All right, so next up, I would like to invite Scott to come tell you some other exciting announcements that are coming up.
Wow, I haven't even said anything yet. Just two quick things. Many of you were aware back in COVID, we did a lot of food deliveries. Remember that? We were doing so many different areas of helping with food assistance. About 9 months ago, the food shelves that we were servicing decided to go to DoorDash, which offered them a program for free. So how could you turn that down, right? So those services with DoorDash drivers were doing all of that for free. Now all of a sudden, their funding came to an end. Surprise, surprise, right, Mark? We talked about that. Beginning in April, we're going to be back to doing food delivery. Now, is Justin in there? Justin is going to be probably what we consider a main driver for that, because that's going to be about a 4 to 5 hour run. But we will have 2 to 3 midday runs, like we did before. Remember, you had kind of a 8 to 10 stops. That's what we're looking to fill. So, just curious, a show of hands, who would be interested if they could fill a midday with 8 to 10 stops? Just kind of trying to get an idea. Okay, good. And what that means is we'll be delivering, on an average, 8 to 10 boxes of 25-pound food. It'll be on a route that we set up. So we'll let you know more about that. Patty will do some scheduling.
Raise your hands again, please, so that I know Gary.
So we could probably go on a rotation with Patty, when you do that. Good, and then one small thing, well, it's not a small thing, but we got a grant. Mike Greenbaum had applied for a grant and we received it. We're going to be now getting seniors, picking them up to take them to area middle schools, to do some mentoring, to do some reading of elementary students, to the students. So we're pretty excited that, again, this is more of an opportunity to engage our seniors in community, get them out of their isolation, and just trying to offer something more than what they're accustomed to doing. We just do more and more of this all the time. So again, that will be a midday opportunity for some drivers. Could be about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we don't know how many days a week it'll be, but it's going to keep running. And then lastly, I'm just going to mention it. We don't have this yet, but the St. Paul Farmers Market is interested in doing business with us again if they receive a grant. And what that means is we will have anywhere from 3 to 4 drivers, 4 to 5 hours every Saturday, Sunday for 18 weeks, starting in June through the end of the fall. I'm just announcing that because I want you to kind of get prepared if we end up getting this. It's not for sure that we will, but if we do, just kind of think about, could you have some time to be bringing people to and from the farmers market in St. Paul? No lifting, just driving. So that's about it. Any questions for community? Thank you for everything that you keep doing for our seniors out there. It has been wonderful, and we get so many calls, and we'll let you know when these calls come in about all the fun things that have been happening and the accomplishments that you have been making for our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. So right now we're going to go over a few of our accomplishments that we've done together as a team. And one of those is back last summer, I had an intern here, and her name is Sonia, and she did a break room survey. And you gave us feedback on things that you would like to see in the break room, like a coffee pot, like some more comfortable lighting, some comfortable seating, and all of those types of things. Did anybody notice that we took some of your feedback? Yay! Okay. We just wanted to tell you your opinion matters. What your feedback matters to us. We want to know what you want to see, and that we are going to, it may not always be in the time frame that we want to, but we do continue to think about those things. We want to continue, keep making those changes, so that's why we now have a water cooler, and we have the coffee pot, and we just got to upgrade a part of the break room, so for some more comfortable seating. We want you to continue to tell us your opinion. We want to go through those changes. Another thing that we did recently was we had the driver-to-driver meeting that was led by some folks from our safety committee, and we want to thank you again for giving us those questions, giving us those feedback, and allowing us to answer those questions for you. And so Reed is going to give you a couple extra updates of what we have even gone from since the time we wrote responses, how many things that we've updated since then, and then we'll go into our training. All right, Reed.
All right.
Do we want to take a moment to get people seated here and get people
Do you
repositioned?
guys want to sit down? No? They don't want to sit down.
They've said
I'm going to come back to the driver meeting because what's that? That's good. Because I know you guys are probably going to want to have a little discussion or maybe some questions or anything about some of the responses. So I'm going to jump into our sexual harassment in the workplace training, which I know you are all excited about. So let's do that. We are going to be showing some videos, so if you guys need to adjust your seatings or where you're sitting, please do. We'll have some little snippets.
Feel free to make a second line. You guys can come forward.
There you go.
You can be able to
Sorry, I
see
don't
over
have
here.
any popcorn.
Well, so just signaling whenever you're ready. I got them queued up.
So, first of all, I just want you guys to know, and I'm going to be reading right out of our new handbook, some snippets out of there about the standards of conduct for us all. And you guys will probably be going over this with Melanie again when she does the review with you. But first and foremost, Nutrex is an equal opportunity company. And I think we all know that, but just to restate that, what does that mean? It means that employment practices will be based on merit, qualifications, and ability. Now, some of the things that's not going to be based on is age, sex, religion, any kind of things like that. Okay? Nutrex strives, and a lot of this I'm going to read right out of the handbook for you guys. So you can kind of get a taste of what we're trying to say here. Nutrex strives to provide a work environment free from harassment, including sexual and abusive conduct. So let's break it down. What is harassment? Okay? The definition we have in our handbook says harassment is unwelcome conduct that is based on race, color, religion, gender, including pregnancy, national origin, age, which is primarily over 40 and over, disability or generic information. Harassment becomes unlawful where one, enduring the offensive conduct becomes a condition of continued employment, or two, the conduct is severe or persuasive enough to create a work environment that a reasonable person would consider intimidating, hostile, or abusive. Okay? So there are some different kinds of harassment. The first one is, not yet. Harassment, it takes many forms. So the following examples, I just picked a few of them. So this is some, but not limited to, okay? Negative stereotyping or slurs, or using them in jokes or stories. The use of offensive or demeaning terms which have a sexual connotation. Objectionable physical closeness, physical contact, or repeated flirtations. Unwelcome invitations to social engagements or non-work related social events.
Would you like me to hold something for you, boss? Yeah. What? Oh my God.
I stand up. Any indication that an employee's job security, job assignment, conditions of employment, or opportunities for advancement depend on the granting of sexual favors to any other employee, supervisor, or manager. The deliberate or careless creation of an atmosphere of sexual harassment or intimidation. Jokes or remarks of a sexual nature or any other protected class content to or in the presence of persons who may find such jokes or remarks offensive. Let's see, discussing a person's sex life or spreading rumors about it. Asking unwelcome questions or making unwelcome comments about another person's sexual activities, dating, personal or intimate relationships, or physical appearance. And unwelcome whistling, staring, or leering at another person. Unwelcome sexually suggestive or flirtatious gifts, notes, faxes, emails, texting, or voice note. So I'm going to have Doug.
What?
I'm going to have him just show a snippet of one kind of sexual content that is not accepted. This one actually is more of a quid pro quo type of situation.
Another type of harassment called quid pro quo. I've got to show you this mess. Do you see? See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
A janitor that can't clean up after himself?
I will talk to the crew chief right away.
And well, you're gonna have to do better than this.
Well, our goal is to meet your expectations in every way.
Well, good. Because I've got some expectations. Considering your contract's up at the end of the month, and I don't think your boss would like it too much if I was out asking for other bids.
Well, that's certainly your choice, but I hate to see it come to that.
I would too. I really like it when you come around. What'd you say we go upstairs right now and work on my expectations? Or whatever.
Sorry, I have to go.
Quid pro quo means this for that. It happens when a person in a position of power.
Did you want me? I can. I can continue. It's on.
So that's just one form of sexual harassment. Another form is abusive conduct that hopefully we don't see a lot of. I think being in our community that we work in, we all have big hearts and we have a lot of consideration for each other's feelings. So I just want to read.
This is the second one, gender. When you gender next?
Yeah, we'll show that one next. Abusive contact means malicious conduct in the workplace that a responsible person would find hostile or offensive. Abusive conduct may include repeated infliction of verbal abuse, such as the use of derogatory remarks, insults, epithets, verbal or physical conduct that a reasonable person would find threatening, intimidating, or the sabotage or undermining of a person's work performance. Nutrax considers abusive contact in the workplace unacceptable and will not be tolerated under any circumstances. Employees should report abusive conduct to their direct supervisor, transportation manager, executive director, or human resources. So this next little snippet, we're going to show you
Abusive?
It could be, yes, considered abusive behavior.
I'll do the rest.
Still dragging out play, table 12.
Table 7 is asking for the dessert menu.
What did you say? Speak up, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I said that table 7 is asking for the dessert menu.
Well, then say it right. Dessert menu. That's how we say it here. Don't mind him, Fuzzy. He's just like that.
It's Fauzi.
Yeah, I know. Fuzzy. Like the bear. Fuzzy, Fuzzy, Fuzzy.
Okay, so the first waiter commenting on Fozzie's accent in a rude way certainly seemed hostile, but was it illegal? And what about intentionally mispronouncing his name like the second waiter did, not thinking how this might cause hurt feelings? In other words, how do you know when rude comments or joking around are really harassment?
Well, one or two comments might not be illegal, but they can still be cluelessly insensitive. Still, you're right. In general, a comment made once or twice does not technically qualify you as a harasser. In order to be considered illegal, the behavior has to be ongoing, pervasive, or severe behavior related to a protected characteristic such as national origin, as we've just seen. It must unreasonably interfere with a person's work performance or create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work.
We can do the section.
Construction one?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
So that is certainly one where people can take the way that you talk to them or mispronounce your name can be offensive to some people. This next one is also one that has to do with gender.
Now, this next scene shows how unwelcome behavior can interfere with an individual's ability to do his job.
There goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They used to hire guys to do this job.
Not again, just lay off.
You mean lay off? Hey, where you going so fast, homie? You looking for your boyfriend? Here, maybe you need a cold shower.
Well, apparently this is not the first time these guys have picked.
So just some different situations that can be considered abusive or offensive to people. So this happens, and what do? How do you report it?
What do you want to do the religion? We haven't done the religion number 4.
How do you report it? So, according to our handbook, New Tracks believes that all employees should have the opportunity to work within a positive environment to achieve their highest level of productivity. Therefore, all employees need a professional atmosphere where they are treated in a respectful manner. If you're having a difficult situation, we strongly encourage you to act before the conflict or disagreement impacts the work environment. We encourage you to use respectful and direct communication with that person that is offending you, or the persons that are involved in the situation. You are responsible for examining your own behavior and, if appropriate, for resolving the concern directly with the other party. So we are trusting you to be respectful to each other, even if you do confront people and stand up for your own rights. If direct communication does not work, or it creates a more difficult situation, then the complaint should be submitted in writing to a supervisor or a manager within 3 working days of the incident happening. So as soon as possible. Don't just let it sit there and fester and become bigger and bigger, a bigger and bigger problem. If you feel like you're being subjected to harassment in any form by a coworker, supervisor, or anyone else in the workplace, or you believe you have witnessed harassment, you should immediately contact a transportation manager or the executive director or human resources. We have many different committees available, people available to you. They are the only individuals designated to receive complaints. So there will be no retaliation against any employee who files a complaint in good faith or who assists in providing information in good faith relevant to a claim of harassment. Does that make sense? You can't outright just complain about something that hasn't happened just because you want to see that person get into trouble. Okay? So okay, so you reported it. Now what? What are the managers going to do? Well, all managers and supervisors are responsible for implementing this new tracks harassment policy, ensuring all employees they supervise have knowledge and understand the company's policy, reporting any complaints of misconduct to human resources or the executive director so they may be investigated and resolved internally, taking and or assisting in prompt and appropriate corrective action when necessary to ensure compliance. And last but not least, conducting themselves in a manner consistent with the policy. So we are under the same rules as you guys, okay? I wanted to show a little snippet of an example of how you can report something and some of the steps that you need to do.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Vince. You leave and I'll just catch you another time.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Not really.
Okay, you know what? I can say a few minutes, so come on in.
Employers want to know about it when you think harassment is going on. They want to take steps to protect everyone and make sure it doesn't happen again.
So what's up?
Listen, I'm not sure if this is a big deal or not, but I just didn't think the other guys would listen to me.
Listen to you about what?
They just keep giving Mateo such a hard time.
By getting help, you contribute to a more friendly and enjoyable workplace for you and for everybody else.
But lately, they've just been pretty rough on them.
Now, sometimes people are reluctant to report harassment because they're concerned about...
All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is just wrapping things up here. So employees can raise concerns and make reports without fear of reprisal. Anyone found to be engaging in any type of unlawful discrimination or harassment or retaliation for reporting the same will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. So it's serious stuff that we're talking about here. All reports will be treated seriously and investigated when appropriate. Employees who are found to have engaged in abusive contact will be subject to disciplinary action, and as I said, action up to potentially including termination. Okay? So it's very serious. It happens. You think, oh, that doesn't happen here. It happens everywhere. So we need to be really very conscious of it. Do you guys have any questions on that? All right, cool. See, it wasn't that bad, was it? Short and sweet?
I like that.
Did you like the?
I like it.
Okay, good. All right, let's move on to something a little bit more relatable and a little bit more good news. I want to talk about the driver-to-driver meeting, okay? In January, as for some of you new guys that weren't here yet, we had a driver-to-driver meeting, and it was just involved all the drivers and all of the management, and all of us left, so that you guys could talk uninhibited, say what's on your mind, and you didn't feel like we were, intimidating you somehow. But I wanted to talk, I don't know, we posted all of the questions that you guys asked us and some of our responses. We did have them in the dispatch office for you guys to read and go over if you wanted to. If you did get a copy of that, let me know. We can make some more copies and hand them out. But I just wanted to go over a couple things that you guys asked about and that we are trying to resolve for you. So let's just take, for one thing, drivers brought up that there are houses that are constantly come out late. They call dispatch and dispatch lets them know that they called the house and they are coming out, and that it is still taking up to 10 minutes for them to come out. But the drivers hold the wait for them still. So if you have a house that is habitually late, always late whenever you get there, let one of the managers know, Mike or Patty, so that they can call that house and they can talk to them and say, hey, this is your pickup time, this is your drop-off time. We have other clients that we have to keep on the schedule with. Please try to be on time and let us know if there's a problem that we can help solve and answer for you. Okay? Drivers should not be waiting at a house more than 5 minutes. If you guys are waiting at a house more than 5 minutes, and I know we're like, well, I know they're a little bit slower, so I'm just gonna wait. Well, then you can't come back to us and go, hey, I've been here for 20 minutes. They're still not out here. Well, we've gotten them, we've given them that time, so now they're taking advantage of the time and slowing down. And now we're late for we're calling all your houses every day. We don't want to get into that. We want to try to just keep everybody on time.
We call Ron's house every single day, every day. And if you want trouble,
Yeah.
and if you don't call, you wait 10 to 12 minutes. If you call, you get it in 4 or 5.
Yes, and we have tried to call him.
I know there's language there.
Yeah. But we do try to call the houses and talk to mom, and sometimes there is a language barrier. But we try to get them out as quick as we can. If you get there and they're habitually late, just call us right away. If you're there, if their pickup time is 7 o'clock in the morning and you're there at 7, then call us if no one's coming out.
That's what I do. I call up and call.
Perfect. That's perfect.
You said we wait no longer than 5 minutes. Is that different than the 3 minutes after the first time?
Repeat the question. Repeat the question for the rest of the room.
Okay.
The question that you had was, is that 5 minutes added on to the 3 minutes that you wait? If it's a habitual occurrence and you get there and you're waiting your 3 minutes and you know that they're not going to come out, call us right away when you get to the house so you're not waiting there. Because all those minutes add up, don't they? Yep. So if we can call them and you know that they're going to not be ready, then call us and we will call them and get them out there too as quick as we can. That makes sense? Good question. Yep.
How about when you leave, you get 10 minutes down the road and you go back here?
Yep, I'm going to come to that in a minute, yeah. That's our next one. Good job. Good segue. Drivers reported being sent back to their houses after already being there, waiting 3 minutes, having dispatch call, and being told to move on. Do we need further procedure on this? Should we be sending drivers back, even though we went through our current procedure? It seems this practice shows the houses that they don't need to be ready on time, since the bus will just come back to them. True, it is telling them that, but if it's happening again and again, then we need to lay some guidelines down. We need to know about it. Drivers reported being sent back to their houses after already being there. Oops, sorry, that's the question. Our response was, please keep in mind that we are here for the riders. Some of them are a little bit slower, and it might be that we called in there and they're still getting ready, and we just figure we called in again and they're just taking their time, and we told them, well, the driver can wait 1 more minute and then they need to move on. So that's what happens. you guys move on. Well, then all of a sudden the client finally got his shoes on, finally got his coat on, is ready to go to work, really wants to go to work, wants to earn that mighty dollar. They get to earn a paycheck too and spend it on what they want. So, you know, we need to try to help them do that, help them to have make a substantial living.
Please remember that sometimes it's not the individual's fault that they're late, and it might be the group home's fault that they're late. And if they're being denied their access to their program, what makes their day important because their staff at their home isn't able to do that. We understand the frustration on your part, and if it is habitual, we'll try to work with the homes and the programs as much as we can to try to solve that situation. But we hate for the rider to have to suffer from their paychecks, from their peers, that makes their day important because their group home or their home isn't able to get them ready on time. So it's a balancing act that our dispatchers, our managers have to try to field it on a daily basis to try to be conscious of the needs of the riders and also be fair to what the expectations are of you guys. And there's not a perfect balance there, but they do the best job that they can of trying to walk those two things and making sure the individuals that we provide transportation for have every opportunity to get their program sites on a daily basis.
And we want them to make them feel like they're part of their outside world too, outside of their homes. You know, and that they do matter and that people depend on them to be there to work. So let's do a little shift here. Let's talk about loading and unloading at sites. Always a loaded subject.
I see what you did there.
Oh, no pun intended, sorry. Commerce site. Let's see if I get well. It's been an ongoing problem. When you come in, there's 4 places to stop to load and unload at Commerce, correct? Then you have all of the private people or people that bring their person in. And they're kind of buzz around you and they stop on that curved part of the sidewalk. I know we have talked many, many times with staff and they've talked with people about not buzzing in and out of our buses. It's hard to stop and start and move around some of those guys. I did go over there and I did notice that there were quite a few cars that parked in their parking lot and actually walked their people down the sidewalk, which I thought was great. So hopefully they're making a little bit of progress. I did notice too, though, that there are 1 or 2 cars that keep parking there. And it is an ongoing thing. Again, we are working with the people and trying to get them to not do it. Unfortunately, sometimes there's different drivers all the time that are bringing these people in.
You ain't never gonna get Metro Mobility to stop parking.
Yeah.
Or discover they.
Yeah, Metro Mobility, it is hard to control them.
So if you're the first person over at Commerce, please go all the way to the front spot. Because it makes it hard for other drivers coming in there. I've heard that more than once. And I know I was supposed to talk to a couple drivers about that, but please, when you are that first driver coming into Commerce, pull all the way up to that front spot. And if you don't know what the number 1 spot is, please come and ask Mike Flack and Reedy. Thank you. It would be very much appreciated by your coworkers, and everyone would be happy.
Well, and also, if you're coming in and there's 2 spots open, don't pull in the first one and let everybody go on.
That's what we're saying. Always go to that the next spot that's open, correct? And also, I just want you guys to remember too, if you need to use the bathroom, we're all for it. You can go in and use the bathrooms at these sites. But please remember to move your bus out of the loading area and maybe park it as in Commerce, like out on the cul-de-sac and walk in, just so that you can leave that spot open so someone else can come in and load and not waiting for you when you're in the bathroom. Okay? Parkway, I know that's always been a tricky site. It's very narrow there. And it's in the summer when everything is really nice and melted and green and happy. It's still hard to get around buses and without going up on that curb or, skimming someone's mirror off or the back corner of the buses. It can be tricky. In the wintertime, it's more of a challenge, as you all see. We try to keep it as flower. We actually are not in charge of plowing the sites. They have their own plow service that do it. But we do need to know if they're not doing it. And we call the sites and say, hey, you know what, we need to get this scraped off a little bit better. We're having all these accidents, we can't have that. So if you notice at any of these sites that they are not plowing well enough, please let us know as soon as possible so that we can call them and try to get their plow people back out there to clean it up. Okay? Merrick? I know that they're down by the commons, by the main entrance. We usually have 3 spots, right? And the third spot has been unavailable to us this winter. And we've talked to Merrick again. The role of building management has gone to a different person there, so they're trying to figure out what is best for that area and how to control it. The snow coming off the canopies is one of the reasons why it's like that. We have talked to them. Can you guys tell me, have they cleared that out yet? It's still closed up? Okay. I will talk to them again because I was told that that was going to be resolved last week. So I will talk to them again, try to get that cleared. Luckily,
it's spring.
It's spring, right? We're not going to get any more snow. So, problem solved. I love it. But no, we will keep on them and try to get that cleared out for you because as I know, we need to have those spots. Which brings us to Willow. How many of you guys have been to Willow lately? Yeah? Have you fallen in the hole? As you know, potholes are so numerous right now and horrible, and they're everywhere. And there is a huge pothole about as big as the entrance at Willow.
I think did they repair it?
Have they fixed it? Is it better? Halfway. What's that?
Just filled it in with the water.
The water? Yeah.
So when you roll over it, it was just big prints. And it just got deep in.
What happened is a lot of the asphalt people are not open yet for the seasons. So they have to wait till it's a certain temperature outside in order for them to be able to start patching the road. That's why all of our roads are horrible. It's like riding on a stagecoach, or not that I know what a stagecoach like flat is or feels like. But yeah, so it's the thing I think that we need to remember is patience. You know, it was in our when to work comments this last week. If you come upon some potholes, go slow. Slow down. Hit them head on if they are unavoidable. Don't try to go like this and crank the wheel. That's when you're going to throw your bus off of alignment. And then our poor mechanics have to deal with it. And they love that. I know. Don't cry, swear. It's okay. So, you know, slow down when you're going through these parking lots. And just remember that it's only 10 miles per hour when you go through them. And that's all of them, including ours. And just be mindful of where you're doing your U-turn, which you should not be doing. And just be mindful of all the things that are happening in a parking lot. Cars coming in and out, people walking, getting out of their cars, and clients. Clients could be walking in between the buses also too, so please just have patience. If it's gonna if you're gonna be a couple minutes late into my run, well then just let us know. And we will call your people, and we will let them know, okay? As far as training, do you still have time? Do you have a little bit more time? Okay. Training, I just want to go through a couple things that I'm trying to do. Putting guide posters up of wheelchairs. You guys will be getting, we're setting up some new bus books for you guys that we hope we will be implementing in a little bit here, pretty soon in the near future. I put in there, I found a diagram of a wheelchair with all the tie downs, where they should be, everything, how to do them, which ones to do first, all that stuff, seat belts. They will be in those new bus books. If you want an extra one, I can make some extra ones. I don't know where you're going to put them, but I think that the bus books, we just felt that that would be the best place for you guys to be able to find them and implement them. As far as the lift operation, there are already instructions in every bus how to run your lift manually. Okay, look on the lift itself. There's a little diagram on there that shows you how to do it. I've also made some other ones that I've connected to the bus by the lift. As far as retraining, if you guys need any retraining, please, my door is open. Please come and talk to me. I am so willing to come and train. I will come out to your bus. I will come to wherever you want me to be, unless it's in West St. Paul. I don't go to West St. Paul. No, just kidding. But let me know, and I will come out and I will go over how to tie down a wheelchair, or if there's a difficult wheelchair, I will help you figure out how to deal with it. Okay? We're trying to implement putting zip ties on all wheelchairs. We do have to call their homes first so that they know what we're doing, so they don't come home and they're going, why do I have zip ties all over this wheelchair? So the zip ties will be put in the places exactly where you put the tie down. So there's no guessing game. You know exactly where they should go. I think that's about it for now. We can go over some of this other stuff. Yes?
You were talking about Parkway. There's 4 stops.
Yep.
People are parking at the last end spot. So then when these 2 leave, they can't see it. They're not supposed to be there. And then I gotta wait until they decide what they're gonna do. And then I'm just wasting all this time. Can you please tell me there's only 4 spots there? Not that last one. That's not a spot to park.
In the entrance coming in, people stop there to see, to go into the next one. Yeah, do not do that.
Right? When you pull in on the 4, there's that little spot there.
Yeah. Right. There's only four spots at Parkway that you should load and unload. And you should be staging your bus back in the parking lot and don't block the way so people can't tell if the bus is leaving. Okay? Any other questions, you guys? This pizza's smelling good.
Don't want to make a big deal of it, but Oakdale, there's only 3 spots. And the 4th one, and you and I talked about it, but I've not heard anything.
Repeat for the room.
What she's asking about is Oakdale, parking and unloading. There are 3 spots that you back into at Oakdale, okay? There is a 4th spot that you pull straight in that's right by the speed bump, thank you. And this winter we have not been using that just because of the snow is encroaching on that spot, so you're moving over too far. And you guys saw those trucks that are coming through, it gets scary. So until the snow melts completely, we're not going to be parking that one. Just please utilize those 3 spots that you back into there for now, okay? Did that answer your question, or? We'll talk. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Randy. All right, so if there are any other questions about benefits or anything like that, if you have individual things, please come talk to myself and Human Resources. By the way, this is Mike Greenbaum, our Executive Director, if anyone doesn't know. And I think you Shirley, our Transportation Manager. So, but if you do have extra questions, please do let us know. Is there anybody else who has a general question about the company or is there
You guys provide that life insurance, right?
Yes.
How much is it?
It depends on the person. So if you
It's $50,000 for the employee.
So it's $50,000.
oh, that's long-term disability. Sorry.
Yeah, $50,000 for the employee.
Okay.
And it's $5,000 for,
Are you gonna off somebody soon?
Okay, thanks.
Is he planning?
Yeah, long-term disability depends on the person. Okay, perfect, great question. Thank you for asking. So the last thing I have here, we do have pizza for you today, but something else just as a small token of our appreciation and our thank you to you, especially it's been a rough winter. It's very small, but we are excited to show you. We have these new Nutrax pens that are stylus on the end that you can use with your tablets. They do see Nutrax on them. But we have these for you, so when you're getting your pizza, or if you're not getting pizza, please do see me and get a pen. And there is cake that Lisa got for her anniversary, so please do enjoy cake. We have pens and cake. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for today for being here with us.